Are we on live stream already?
Yes, how are you? Yeah, yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone, students, alumni, staff members. Welcome to the Alumni Seminar 2016. This is the fourth IOB Alumni Seminar we are organizing. The Alumni Seminar is meant to provide IOB alumni an opportunity to showcase their work to IOB students and staff. That's why we have launched a call for application in January for IOB alumni to come to Antwerp and present their work. What is very important for us is to link to development impact, our work to development impact. So the idea, especially of this alumni seminar, was to work on, to look not just at academic excellence of the proposals, but also to look and perhaps to look at directly at development impact. There were 35 very interesting and high quality applications. There was, for example, also Kunal's work on introducing renewable energy systems in tribal villages in India. Another proposal was by Jacinta on community and extractive business, looking for ways to make the local communities benefit from revenues generated through oil in Kenya. Rose Villa's project on M&E through geotagging in the Philippines. There's also a proposal by Tatevik with her civic campaign for maternity leave rights in Armenia. So you see a variety of different types of work, also and different types of engagement by our alumni. There's two with her interesting work on ethnic minorities as collaborative researchers in Vietnam, and there's Stanford as well on legal protection of climate-induced displaced persons. Many more as well, of course. There were 35 proposals in total. It is a pity that we can only select one to present today. However, we have also presented some of the other work in posters form here upstairs. But now it's time for the one alumni we have selected to come and present here today, to tell about her journey back from 2010, 2011 when you graduated, and looking for ways to have an impact in the lives of many. Mrs. Lanny Jauhari, who will present on pioneering NGO transformation to social enterprise in Indonesia, the experience of TORAJAMELO in working with additional women grievous communities. You have the word, Lanny.
Thank you, Professor. It's been an honor to be able to stand here and then talking to all of you. This is actually the first time I ever stand here. I normally sit somewhere there. And again, I would like to thank IOB to invite me to come here in Antwerp again, and then present my work to you. Again, Professor Tomdiher said that it's not just merely academic, so I'm more on the maybe non-academic path compared to the rest of the applicants. So you can call me Lanny. I'm now working for TORAJAMELO. Actually, I work semi full-time, if I may say so, and because I also have other venture that I'm working on, and I'm the program manager for TORAJAMELO. So what I'm going to present is pioneering NGO transformation to social enterprise in Indonesia, taking experience of what we are doing. But before that, I'm going to tell you a bit of myself. So I'm going to say like me before IOB and me after IOB. So okay, it's 10 years DI before IOB. So yeah, I used to work more on development sectors. I was the assistant project officer for child protection in UNICEF when there was a tsunami hit in Aceh. So I was working on separated children issues because many families were separated after the tsunami. And yes, I helped my that's the project program manager there, and I sort of like setting up I also assisting in setting up a system because when you're working for children, there are certain protocols that you really have to obey. You know, like you cannot just delivering like just implementing projects without seeing the this kind of fun. Yeah, that's some of the pictures from my previous work. And I also had the opportunity to work for UK Department for International Development as a program officer. I also managed some of the projects, humanitarian projects, more on civil society initiatives in Indonesia. And it's more on humanitarian because like, yeah, I also the procurement officer for DFID Indonesia. So when I was with DFID, I had the opportunity to also involve in certain humanitarian crises happened in Indonesia. It was in Sumatra earthquake in late of 2009, where I sort of like helping the rescue team from the UK to come with the logistics and all the arrangements. So that's the Royal Air Force of the UK, where I had to get the clearance and everything just 10 minutes before they landed. So it was exciting. However, along my development work journey, I also, of course, I met inspiring people. I met amazing people. And the one who really left a deep mark in my heart was actually one particular lady. It's the late Dame Anita Roddick. She's the founder of Body Shop Global. So I had a brief conversation with her, but very meaningful. I remember she said to me like, just pursue your passion and follow your instinct. Women knows best. Women's instinct is the best. That's what she said. So, but again, like I was, I've been working as a development staff for many years. I didn't know what my passions are, seriously. So I didn't know how to work and then come to work and then do the job. But seriously, I don't know what my passion were at that time. So then I got the opportunity to study in IOB. I think it's a life-changing moment for me as well. So, and to many, all of my classmates as well. I think it's a, yeah, it's a life-changing experience. So here we are. I see some of my friends there in the picture. This is our first day here, and I think it's after orientation day, where I think that is the orientation day, and this is us in one of the conference in ISS in the HAB, and this is us during the graduation. I said like IOB really is a life-changing experience because actually it was Professor Tomtiher who, well, I remember your lecture about the importance of public-private partnership, and it's in here in my head all the time. So it was from IOB. I learned more about the importance of public-private partnership, and then I really got struck actually by the assignment of Professor Danny Kasiman, when each one of us, we must analyze the money inflow coming to our country. I don't know what, I forgot what is the tennis. So and then I found out that Indonesia in 2011, the net official development assistance and official aid received was only 3% of our total GNI. It's very small. And I also noticed that even in 2011, Indonesia economy is growing, and I'm sure that figures will be much more less. And it happens in 2015. I think our ODA is minus because we repay almost all of our foreign debts. So I remember when I was about to complete my thesis, actually around this time, 5 years ago, I have set my mind. So next time, if I really have to pursue a job or something, it has to be with either with the public or with the private sector. And then I think IOB gave me confidence to pursue another career path, you know, like rather than coming back to my development works. So, so then after IOB, it's 5 years now after IOB. I was quite fortunate that I got the opportunity to work for one of the biggest multinational company in the world. So I got the opportunity to join Nestle Indonesia as the Creating Shared Value Coordinator. So I'm sort of like managing their corporate social responsibility, but they don't call it corporate social responsibility. They call it Creating Shared Value. They call it like an advanced form of CSR. So this is what the private sectors are raving about, like creating shared value on their business. So yeah, I manage the CSR division practically, and I got opportunity to attend ceremonious events. Well, yeah, because like we have partners as well, yeah, and I also attended several prestigious events held by Nestle around the world, like Nestle Healthy Kids Global Workshop or the Creating Shared Value Conference. It's not just Nestle sponsored that event, but it gathers all the development actors in that. It's including the donors. So it's more like development works, but done by the private sector. That's what they were aiming actually. So again, with Nestle, I learned more about the concept and practice of creating shared value and sustainability from the corporate point of view, which I also enjoy good salary, good facilities, right? And opportunity to travel, opportunity for trainings. Of course, it's all there. That's my comfort zone actually, if I'm missing. However, private sector life doesn't really suit my lifestyle goals. Like I had a doubt, so that this is what I really want to do with my life. And it turned out that I want a job that aligns with my value. And well, even though I'm doing creating shared value, maybe it's different value than my value. So, however, working for Nestle brought me closer to the real development actors, like the farmers, like the suppliers, traders, and I met all these actors because Nestle, we procure cacao, we procure coffee, and then I realized that like all the best local produce, Indonesian produce, are exported because the farmers they tend to sell it to the supplier, but the amount is not that much. Even like in Jakarta, in the capital, we can afford, like way higher than the money that paid by the trader. So that's, I think, the tipping point. I really want to quit the private sector, and I'm working on my own venture. So that's the time when I think about my own venture called the local store. It's a small initiative. I really want to bring good local produce directly from the farmers to the consumer, so the farmers can enjoy like good, reasonable price for the products, and the consumer also can buy it like in a reasonable price as well. So I'm trying to cut all the supply chain, but this initiative is very small. I mean, like it doesn't have any impact for the the life of the farmers at the time. So yes, while I'm doing my research on the local store, I also did some consultancy, particularly on CSR, sometimes climate change. Well, and this is one of the books that I co-wrote. It's like a CSR scheme for climate financing in Indonesia. So yeah, that thing. However, when I did my research on the local store and my freelance consultancy, I came across to the term social enterprise. I mean, like, I didn't realize that what I'm trying to do is, they say, is social enterprise. So I then tried to find more what is social enterprise, and then, well, this until now there's no definite definition on what is social enterprise, because each organization keep coming with their own terminology. So this is the three most quoted social enterprise definition from the British Council, because they were seen as the champion of social enterprise, because UK is seen as the one of the champion of the social enterprise worldwide, and the Schwab Foundation for Social Entrepreneurship. And my favorite quote is from Muhammad Yunus. So social enterprise is practically a non-dividend company that is created to address and solve a social problem, or social and environmental problem, actually. So again, why social enterprise? Again, when I remember the assignment from Professor Kasimon, like the development aid is diminishing in Indonesia. I mean, like in Indonesia. So I think NGO must find a way how to sustain their operation. So I think I think social enterprise can be a way for organization to be able to sustain. And I also got this. I don't know whether you got recommended book from the professor, but I remember I read Paul Collier's book called The Bottom Billion, and it says that, like, when the rest of the world economy are growing, but 1 billion people will be still at the bottom of the pyramid. So there, but there's also another terminology. It's a rather new terminology. It's called the next 3 billion. So there will be 3 billion aspiring class of people who will enter the low and middle income bracket by 2030. And these 3 billion people will act as an economic driver and has economically active demography. So this is actually like the lower middle class people who are thinking about innovation in a whole new way, because they think like making profits and making sustainable impact are indispensable to growth strategy. Well, I think it's almost similar to the movement of the .com or the startup company, but there's also another. There's 3 billion people who think about new ways of operating the business. So, and of course, for any initiative that would like to make social or environmental impact, I think social enterprise can be one of way to realize that. And then that's when I started to join TORAJAMELO, because I met this incredible lady who started off TORAJAMELO. She's the founder, and then we had sort of like similar vision to do business that has social and environmental impact. And because like my local store is very tiny, and I really want to learn how to run the proper social enterprise from one of the pioneers, because TORAJAMELO is seen as one of the pioneers of social enterprise in Indonesia. And of course, like, yeah, I still have a little bit of academic genes in me. I really want to learn about the issue of social enterprise. It's just like maybe it's similar thing like creating shared value or corporate social responsibility, climate change. So it's another issue, and it's a brand new issue that's really enticing me. So before that, I'm gonna tell you, before I explain what is TORAJAMELO, I'm gonna show you. Toraja is a region in Sulawesi, in the eastern part of Indonesia. And Melo actually means beautiful in the dialect. This is the final product of TORAJAMELO. We sell some of our product in a department store in Tokyo. We also have the fashion show and all that for our product. So you see that what we're trying to do is we'd like to bring the product, the hand-woven textile weaved by the traditional weavers to the modern market. So the problem that we're trying to address is two: feminization of poverty and disappearance of indigenous weaving. Because in Indonesia now the poverty rate is about 11%, 11.4%, and 70% of that numbers are women. So I think it's also happening, not just in Indonesia. And again, the disappearance of indigenous weaving, I think it's also happening around the world. Actually, weaving is the oldest technique, one of the oldest life skills that human has, like, because yeah, well, it's ancient technology, and now in modern life we're not really using it anymore, even from as a raw material or as a clothes. We don't really use hand-woven clothes anymore, yeah, simply for practicality. And so the vision of TORAJAMELO is like, we'd like to create a more inclusive and sustainable economy for poor women in Indonesia, both in the rural and in the urban settings. I'm gonna explain to you about that later. And then, of course, we want to rejuvenate Indonesian indigenous hand-woven clothes. Our mission is to provide a comprehensive capacity building program for traditional weavers throughout Indonesia, and now seamstresses as well, not just weavers, and then provide access to the world market. I think provide access to the world market will be the most, is the tall order, and but actually this is the most important thing, because like when civil society is working, we are working very well with the community, but then when we're trying to ensure sustainability, the livelihood sustainability of the community, there's a gap, like a bigger gap, like how to bring this product to the market. So that's what we're trying to address. So what our program pillars is women economic development, of course, cultural preservation and rejuvenation, and the most important thing is the youth participation and regeneration, both ways, from the demand and the supply side. Now we have weavers, young weavers, who can pay their tuition fee from weaving. But on the other side, we want to create also a younger market, so they are happy, they are proud to wear this traditional hand-woven clothes, and then at the same time ensure sustainability for their peer in the rural area. So we are working with young endorsers. We are working with the young designers. We also trying to promote endorsement from the young celebrities. So we can create a younger market as a as a market for the products. So what our activities, again, it's I think the same like other civil society organizations. We have vocational education, we have a market and access creation, and awareness campaign, definitely. And then I also put partnership there, because TORAJAMELO is actually a small organization. And if we want to do end-to-end, from working with the weavers until creating the market, it's not possible that we're gonna doing it ourselves. So we do partnership with several organizations like advertising agencies, social media campaigner, even the banks with their CSR, with the NGO. Actually, that's why I'm gonna explain that later. We also work with several different NGOs as well, because because this is how we work actually. So that's what they call it, social. Oops. Okay. So in the legal entity, we are two separate organizations. So we have a foundation and we have a private company. But the heart of our work is actually the design from the raw materials in terms of weaving and end products. Because maybe also it also happens in many parts of the world, like sometimes when we are buying traditional handwoven clothes, it doesn't really appeal, like even from the colors, from the motif, like maybe it's too bright, maybe it's too um, obnoxious sometimes. So what we're trying to ask them is like they are making weaving that is more enticing to the modern market. So design is starting from the weaving to the fashion itself. So we are working on the foundation side. We're working with the community. Now we separate two. That's why I said like poor women in rural and in urban setting. In urban setting, we work with the seamstresses. So we sort of like trying to ask them to become our community production. So because they cannot weave, and then at the same time, weavers they're weaving, they provide raw materials to the community production. So we try to build the capacity of the community production, so they will have certain standard of quality. So their product can be sold to the first, of course, the community stores, but maybe to the national market. What we are doing in TORAJAMELO, we have this prototype workshop. So this prototype workshop there is creating products from the textile, and then they have to think about the ability of the seamstresses in the community, whether they can make it or not. Because like if you're trying to create a sophisticated design and then you just give it to the seamstresses in the with their current skills, it might not work. So we're trying to introduce like a product and then like gradually increasing the difficulties of the seamstresses showing actually. And then there's also a community stores that we are working with, and then the product is fashion product and a gift product. And on the private side of TORAJAMELO, we are doing the branding, marketing definitely, and sales. We are selling it online and offline. And of course, it's not easy. Like even like if you're, well, if we're only a private company or we're NGO, we also encounter problems. That's what we encounter as well. There's no supporting policy actually for social enterprise in Indonesia, so we have to pay double tax. So as a private company and as a as a foundation, but we're in this movement with other social enterprise as well as the British Council to advocate the needs of regulation for social enterprise. And then from the foundation side, there are always cultural sensitivity that might hinder or even delay the implementation of our program. So we really have to think about that. And then, well, in some part of Indonesia, there's still a patriarchal communities that sometimes refuse to take the idea of women having their own income. I mean, like, so yeah, there's cultural sensitivity in there that we have to think about. And more on the private sector side, because it's very difficult for us to get loan, because when we're trying to propose like our project to the investor, well, even though they're saying we are the impact investor, they're still coming to us like, when are you going to return my money? I mean, like, there's no well, they don't really monetize the social or environmental impact that the organization is doing. What they care about is still the money, which is, I think, is understandable because they're investor. They want their money back, and they really want to know when they're gonna get the money and when is the return. And even the donor as well is a little bit difficult to convince. But recently, we got funded from the House Aid because one of the advisors there, they see they see our project is more like asset-based approach that can also be quantified in the long frame or something. So again, but the other, well, there's also a need for impact evaluation actually, and then we're in the discussion with the other donor to create this system, like impact, like evaluating impact of a social enterprise, because like we shouldn't use like the normal log frame or the normal outcome and output, and then the impact weighting as well has to be revised. Hopefully, it will happen in the near future. So our impact to the community, taking, I'm going to say, before in 2008, we're only working in Toraja, the one that you see in the film. But now we're working in 4 different areas in Eastern Indonesia. So we started off with 2 and then 5 weavers in 2008. Now we're working with approximately 1,000 weavers in Indonesia. And in Toraja, the weavers only from weaving, because they also got income from farming and other economic activity. But from weaving in 2008, they practically sold nothing. So now we are managed to boost the local market. So now every single weaver that we're working with, at least they got $100 to $300 per month from weaving. And I think that's also a good, I mean, like, because hand-woven weaving takes time. If you want to earn more than that, then they won't have time for family and other like domestic work. So this is this figure is already calculating like they're weaving during their spare time. But we understand that. That's why we also trying to we also build the skills and the capacity of weavers. We facilitated the establishment of a co-op, the first ever in Toraja, because we want them to not just weave, but also have other soft skills that might be beneficial for them. So this co-op, they just starting, and then now they're sort of like independent, so they become our suppliers. So before we order the textile directly from the weavers, now there's a co-op, and then yeah, they do something else rather than selling and making it hand-woven textile. And creating sustainable livelihood of the artisan and the rejuvenating the weaving culture. It's already been proven because we also trying to explain this. The master weaver normally very old, and they don't weave anymore. You can see in the movie. So there are all their more intricate, more sophisticated motifs and techniques that are no longer weaved by the current weavers. So we really have to ask the master weaver to transfer that knowledge to the younger weavers. So we this year, well last year actually, we sort of like trying to introduce the old motif, to reintroduce the old motif of Toraja weaving, and now it's in the market. I mean, like now it's in the local market. So I think we don't want to claim that it's our work, but in a sense, like before that motif is not existed in Toraja market, but now it's there. So yeah, I think we did something right. That's so again, work with TORAJAMELO involves like more community work, and show you some pictures. Yes, this is not in Toraja, but it's in very close to Komodo Island. It's in the forest island. So yeah, we facilitating. It's actually a workshop, and yeah, we have to go to places, difficult areas to go to, and also have to work with donors. This is the Indonesian bank, state bank, who are supporting our program. And because TORAJAMELO is actually a fashion house, we also have to participate in a more posh, lavish event such as the Indonesian Fashion Week. So we launched the collection well, this is in 2015. And because we also work with other this initiative of social enterprise, we just like we propose, or we put proposals to awards or stuff, so we can get more grants actually. So yeah, we were the winner of one of the winners. We are one of 6 winners of the NGO British Council Social Enterprise Challenge for Art, Creative, and Tourism Organization in 2015. So that's the work of TORAJAMELO. And in a more personal note, I can say that Sarah told me that maybe it's a nice thing to put it, but yeah, it's been on my status for years actually. I realized that life begins at the end of your comfort zone. It is true, and I think my life begins after IOB, personally and professionally, because like after that I got like a tipping point. Like I really want to do this and I really want to do that, and then I just do it. And I know like it's not always a success story, right? And but the failure, success is as rewarding as is as the journey itself. So I think that would be my end of presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lanny. Yes, time for some questions. This is the occasion to interview an alumnus. Yes, please.
I wanted to know whether you sell the products mostly outside the country in Tokyo or also inside in Paris.
We think about exporting more of our products. So yeah, when we sell it to Tokyo, we also sell some of our products to the state. But now, again, as I said, like partnership, now we are working with another organization in Singapore. We're thinking of creating Singapore like as a hub, like marketing hub of our products. And then we're in discussion with this organization because this organization would like to bring our products more wherever. And then they're using Singapore as a marketing base. So, but I think Indonesia has 250 million people. Like that's a huge market already. Like if only 1% of Indonesians are using our products, we are sustained.
Yes. Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if there's any sort of political support. Have you had like local politicians or come to your cause? Because from the look of things, this is something that want to be supported.
Yes. Yes. Even though we try to be non-partisan to any political party, but yes, there's a support from the local government actually. In Toraja, when we sort of like purposely invited the head of the to the head of the local government to one of our fashion show, and then I think he realized that okay, there is something that we can promote. But so in 2012, the government, the head of the Toraja, Mr. Toraja, he introduced hand woven clothes day every Saturday. So all the civil servants must wear their own I mean their own product, not us, not our product. The local product. So
Questions? Yes.
It's again regarding the, well, maybe not definition, but of the social enterprise, but how you actually work. I wondered, so do you actually make profit on your work, or is it general, well, the TORAJAMELO, or is it just to support the local weavers and that to help them make profit on their work?
well,
Or, well, in
yeah.
monetary value, not only
Yes.
about well-being. and happiness.
Yes, of course. We really have to make profit, otherwise we won't survive. But it depends. This year, economy is so bad, and then but we got funding. So from hosting. But most of our profit is invested back to the community. So in the end, what we want to achieve, like if we can, if we make more profit, and then we can support these our work, our community works, and the projection should be like over the years, the grant should be lower, but our profit should be more, and then that's how we can sustain. Maybe, well, it's already been 5 years, and we're halfway there. Like last year, we are break even. Like so, our profit can pay our community works, but this year's a little bit harder. So.
I want to find out, like you say, initially you said you want to build sustainability. Yeah. I'm trying to understand what is the role of donor funds when you're trying to build something that is homegrown. And also, how do the seamstresses and the weavers, how much do they get? Is it like you buy from them, or you take their final product and then give the money back from Shopee? They're also middle.
Yes. Yes. That's a good question actually. We work with the weavers. We bought their products, and then we added value. We add value to their products because what they're selling is all we think their product is as raw material only, and then we create fashion out of it. Tokyo, what we're selling in nationwide is a fashion made use hand-woven textile from the weavers, but with added value. So we are not just buying it from the weavers, but we ask them to have some sort of like a group. So we can also build other capacity rather than just weaving, because like to be completely honest, we don't know anything about weaving techniques. They know it better. What we know is like, okay, this product is you can sell this product to a larger market, and then we facilitate them to make the best of their products, so they can get income out of it. So now, I said we have a co-op. We facilitate the establishment of co-op, women co-op in Toraja, so they can organize themselves around that co-op, and then we practically now just buying clothes, textile from them. However, we also work with a big NGO called Women Headed Household Organization. They have 20,000 members in Indonesia, because they are very good at community organizing and stuff. So we work together. So now the weavers, our used to be our group of weavers, and now they got trainings, or they got mentoring from this organization as well. So we're not just buying their clothes, but we also give something more than that. And then again, as I said, like the profit, they have to come up with the price, and then we have to come up with the price as well, because of course we cannot buy like very high price. We have to create some sort of like a local as the standard of the textile. So it will be profitable for them, but also profitable for us, because if the raw material is too expensive, then we cannot sell it. The product will be much more expensive.
Different other questions, yes.
Did you get help marketing products, especially for export? Did somebody, I mean, any institution or organization help you market the product, or is it just the members of the?
Actually, yeah, we got help. Now we are, as I said earlier, we are a very small organization. There's no way we can do from this side to this side just by ourselves. So on marketing side, we work with specialty retailer now in Indonesia. Well, they're quite famous home furnishing company retailers. Yeah, very expensive, and then we work together. So they sell some of product, but with specialty or with customized design, like only for this company, and then they sell it for us. But we also got help, I said, from this agency, new organization in Singapore. Before they call it Kaimula, they're working on financial literacy, but now they're thinking of introducing like conscious consumerism, and then us will be one of the products that they're going to market as well.
And they say like you're more or less like the spider in a network.
Yes,
Of different service organizations.
Yes, because collaboration. No, there's no way we can do it by ourselves. I mean, like, yeah, we have to acknowledge that these organizations, they're expert on their field. So why would we want to be the expert?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. It's a nice presentation. What about regarding the reducing the household role of women? If you have very short of time and activities of men. So, to what extent this project has been working on transforming, reducing our relationship as well? And there is a lot of theories that only bringing women to the economic for the sake of efficiency may be a triple burden for the women.
Yes.
So how do you building collective action of the women on conscious rating?
Yes. Yeah. Again, that's also that was my first question when I joined this organization. Apparently, I said like the income of the weaver now is around $100 to $300 per month from zero, actually. And then weaving is actually their culture. They weave like 2 hours per day, 3 hours per day, and as a company, sometimes it's difficult for us if we got big orders. So we cannot hours per day, so we can get more raw material. So what we're trying to do is like we engage more weavers, and that's why this co-op initiative came. So we want them to organize themselves, to organize themselves, and then I mean they're local people. They know the culture. They know how to get around their villages, for instance. And, we're not trying to push them or push 1 or 2 weavers to work for us, but we ask the co-op to engage more weavers, right? And yes, and again, we haven't found the balance yet between getting the right amount of raw material with with our own production. Sometimes, yeah, it's still something that we're working on. But maybe because now Toraja is only 250 weavers, now we can get more raw material from different part of Indonesia. There will be no shortage on the raw material. But again, yeah, it's still a problem that we're working.
But still you are sustaining the triple burden of the women, but you are not challenging the existing unequal gender relationships.
No, no. well, but put it like this. Before TORAJAMELO came, in Toraja, many women are working as migrant workers as well, Malaysia or internal migration. And now, because now they start getting money from giving, more and more women are returning to the village. So we are not trying to change their lifestyle, but we sort of like providing them options. So that's one thing that we can do. I mean, like, of course we cannot do yeah, again, like power relation between male and female, and Toraja is very close community, and, but yeah, we're trying the best we can.
I think you have to incorporate this issue because the money also going to be to the male, controlling everything to the male. So for me, it is not gender sensitive.
Well, increasing confidence is one aspect of more freedom.
The men will get the men will be get even on the male side, so this will may also increase violence. If you are not challenging the gender relationship existing between them, a lot of microfinance incomes have been ended on the hand of the male, and this also increasing violence.
I know I understand.
And it's not to say it's coming from.
Yes? I have a question perhaps.
Like you are saying, there is a need for new money in the United System for social enterprise.
Yeah.
Can you please explain the problem to the existing one?
Oh no, it's not yet done. That's why that's why like there's now a proposal now how to create this impact foundation for social enterprise. What we are doing now, we are using logic models when we evaluate our programs. But I think there are a lot of more than that, and yeah, and we're in discussion with this donor because like they're keen of creating these tools, monitoring tools for social enterprise as well. So I really hope when it's done, I mean, like we can again, even from the definition, they don't have like a good definition by social enterprise evaluation. Yeah, I think they can be some sort of agreement how to do that. And result-based approach is one of them. Oh no, asset-based approach is one of them. And then, but I don't know whether it's going to be appealed for the donors or even for the investor still. Yeah, of course, investor. If you're an investor, you want your money back, right? So, yeah, I really hope we see more of this. Even from the UK point of view, they don't have like an agreed tools for monitoring and evaluation. That's what I So maybe Professor Hafiz can help.
So with that, it's about yeah, frameworks used by donor organizations
Yes.
and which you have to engage with actors in order to talk to them.
Yes.
So you will get them on board.
Yes. Because they want us to show result. For instance, like they keep asking how many beneficiaries you have. Okay, we have 1,000. But like we also have to tell them like, okay, from one weavers, actually they don't produce any money in 2010, for instance, like, but now they can have like 1,100 or 300, and then all the cumulative effects. Like now there's this local market for their product, not just for TORAJAMELO, but also the local market. The market is growing, so this catalytic effect that needs to be looked as well. Not just like the number of figures, as well as for the investor, we really what we want is like they take into account the social impact as well, not just the return of the investment. Yeah, social return of investment, of course.
Okay, Lanny, thank you for the presentation and it's really great to see how an alumni, in fact, a student is evolving through time.
Yeah.
Before IOB and then IOB itself, and then after IOB period for us, because normally we have a cross section. We just look at 1 year, and many students who are here. That's the 1 year cross section we see. It's always interesting to see the time series as well.
Yeah.
I have perhaps just one final question for you. Do you see specific points at which you say, well, the IOB experience could even be made better, given what I'm doing now?
Oh, okay.
That's too serious of a question.
Well, actually, it's more personal choices as well. Like maybe I think this, like, yeah, again, like I've never really thought that I would be invited here, like, because like I think I'm pursuing more non-academic path compared to the rest of my friends in my classmates. But yeah, I mean, like maybe, well, I'm not saying I have very inspiring presentation or all that, but there are ways out there, you know, like, again, I said like beyond your comfort zone, and then maybe when IOB is sort of like giving options to the current students, and they are live, you know, like beside academic life or beside development life that we can also pursue. It can be like businesses. I don't know, like do something like, and I don't know. There's a pool of passions that that people can pursue. I don't know, like it's about personal choices as well. But yeah, I think.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, may I say something?
Yeah.
Well, actually, my major was globalization and development. So when I was studying here, I was telling my friend in evaluation and governance, like, oh my God, I think I made a wrong choices of major, because like all of you are very focused on monitoring evaluation and the governance, and then globalization and development is too broad. I don't know what I'm learning, but it turned out that well, for instance, like I have to learn about the supply chain, and then suddenly my work semester is all about supply chain. So I think again, there's no such thing as a waste knowledge. So yeah, I'm just happy that I think after 5 years, I can say that I made the right decision for globalization and development.
Okay, thank you very well. So to all of you, this whole pool of passions, thanks for being here, and now I can invite you to the reception we will have upstairs. Thank you very much.